just spent hundreds of dollars on one single ad campaign just for my product to shit itself and to get no sales or ATCs. In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what you can do to not make the same mistakes that I made for my recent campaign, so that way you guys can become profitable, unlike I was a few weeks ago. Now, paid ads is not an easy game at all. You guys know this. If you're watching this video, you probably already know how paid ads works a little bit, but I'm going to show you guys the strategies that I use now and some of the stuff that I learned from our recent campaign, so you guys can execute it and start printing money with paid ads. Now, I know y'all fucked with the organic video I dropped last time, so I'm running it back, but with paid ads this time, just to give you guys some diversity. I got a Miro board ready for you guys. We're just going to get straight into it right now. Why my product test failed with $100 daily spend. I usually do $100, but I just got an Amex, so I'm about to up that to probably $150. I wouldn't go anything lower than 100 if you guys actually have like a decent amount of confidence or faith, one of the two. Those work perfectly fine. But why my product test failed with $100 daily spend, how you can avoid these mistakes. I did $119 spend after 29 hours, and the only reason it was 29 hours is because I was at work and I fell asleep right after work and I forgot to kill the campaign. So key metrics, $60.28 CPM. That's pretty, but it's not like horrible, but it's kind of ass. But for 29 hours, it's not like the worst thing in the world. CTR 4.88%. That's pretty good. CPC $1.24. Decent, could be better. Link clicks 95. That was pretty decent off of the 29 hours. Landing page views 60 landing page views out of the 95 link clicks. And then the root problem, critical failure point, add to carts 0. I literally had no ATCs. This is the first time I've ran a product and I've got no ATCs. Usually, like the failed products I had before, I got like 1 or 2 sales, but no ATCs off of 60 link clicks or 60 landing page views is pretty ass. Funnel breakdown. So from the $119 spend, I got 1,950 impressions, 95 link clicks, which was 4.9% of the impressions. So about 5% of all the impressions that I got clicked on the link. And then I got 60 landing page views out of the 95 link clicks, and that was a 37% drop off from the link clicks. And then add to carts 0, 100% drop off. This was, like I said, the critical failure point. This is the part that genuinely fried my shit when I saw it. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why I got no ATCs at all for this product. Why it failed. Add to landing page gap. The biggest issue I noticed from this test was the disconnect between the ad creatives and the actual buying intent once people landed on the site. The ads clearly did their job. The CTR and CPC showed people were interested enough to click, but that curiosity didn't translate into purchase behavior. Looking back, the creatives probably created more of a "that's interesting" reaction instead of a strong emotional need to buy immediately. The ads generated attention, but the landing page and product weren't compelling enough to continue the momentum. The product I selected for this test, I didn't really realize it at first, but after the test, I definitely realized that like it was more of a like, oh, that's cool product, instead of a like, I need that right now. When you guys are looking for products for paid ads and you are about to run something, ask yourself in your head, be like, if you saw this, if you were interested in like the niche for the product that you're running, if you looked at it, would you be like, wow, I need this right now? Or would you just be like, wow, that's pretty cool? Because if the answer is, wow, that's pretty cool, I wouldn't run it. With products like that, you need trust. And if you don't have trust, then you're not going to get any ATCs or conversions at all. I feel like the avatar usually puts emotion behind their purchases. So if your product has like an emotional connection to the customer, then they're definitely more likely to purchase it than if they're just like, wow, that's cool. Like I could use that, but like I don't need it, you know what I mean? Landing page. Once people got to the website, the conversion completely died. I had landing page views coming in consistently, but 0 ATCs showed that the product page wasn't convincing enough to move people into the problem aware / buying phase. So with your creatives, you want to make your avatar problem aware. Like you want to address the problem they're having. This is a big thing. Like not many people, I know there's like a few people that have said this, but you want to move them into the problem aware / buying phase where they hear the problem in your creative and they can relate to that, and then you want to address all like the failed solutions that they may have tried using, like customer research, Reddit research, stuff like that. You want to move them into the buying phase, which is where you convince them that your product is the solution to their problem. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to like clear that up a little bit. I think the issue came down to perceived value and emotional intensity. The store itself looked clean and branded, but the product may have felt more like a nice to have convenience item instead of a must have solution. The pricing margins and overall offer likely weren't strong enough to justify an impulse purchase from cold meta traffic. It wasn't really like super low quality, but it also wasn't like the craziest fucking like high perceived value product you've ever seen. It was definitely like a lower perceived value, which I feel like definitely hurt the conversion for sure. And honestly, the product is like pretty ass now that I think about it. Product market. This test taught me that getting clicks does not automatically mean you have a winning product. The campaign metrics proved that the creatives and hooks worked, but the actual product market fit wasn't strong enough. The slow feeder bowl solved a real problem, but not a painful enough problem for most customers to immediately spend money on. There also wasn't a dramatic visual transformation or emotional trigger that made the product feel urgent. In the end, this product generated curiosity, but not enough buying intent to convert profitably on meta ads. Yeah, so with this product that I chose, there definitely wasn't like a super big pain point behind it. Maybe like a little bit, but like not really like urgent enough to where people are like, yo, I need to buy that right now. And if you can see on the product market, the slow feeder bowl, that was the product I was testing. It's that like silicone bowl that you can put like liquids and stuff inside of it, and then it has like the little ball in the middle that the dog licks, and it just helps with like keeping them clean, stuff like that, slowing down their fast eating. So those were kind of like the main points that I kind of targeted with my campaign, but clearly it wasn't a big enough pain point to actually convert well. What I should have done differently: focused on a stronger product pain point. The product solved a real issue, but the emotional pain wasn't strong enough to create impulse purchases from cold traffic. So like I said, the product wasn't super emotional. Like, oh, like my dog eats fast. Like, no one really cares about that until the dog actually like starts having like digestion issues, stuff like that. I kind of marketed it a little bit towards like slows down eating to prevent like digestion issues and health risks in the future, just to kind of create like that emotional awareness, but that didn't work as well as I thought it would. Improved perceived value. The product likely felt too similar to a basic dog bowl instead of a premium solution worth the asking price. So I was selling this product for $30. The cog was like 10, so it was 3x. But honestly, $30 for a silicone dog bowl, that's pretty overpriced, I'm not gonna lie. So the perceived value definitely wasn't there, compared to other products for sure. And that's just something you guys have to keep in mind, like when you're doing product research, is like the perceived value. Because if your product doesn't have any perceived value, this goes for organic and paid ads, by the way. If your product doesn't have perceived value, then they're not going to purchase it or even bother clicking on the website. So far we've covered emotional pain in connection to the product and like the pain points, and then we have perceived value. So these are two things that I definitely learned about the product after the test ended. Tested more emotionally driven creatives. The ads generated curiosity, but I should have focused more on frustration, transformation, and relatable dog owner problems. So the main pain points and marketing angles I used in my creatives were messy eating, like dogs getting food all over the floor. It helps them focus on the eating and like the pace of the eating instead of going crazy and tearing up the whole house. The fast eating, so slowing down the eating, and also like helping prevent digestion issues, which I thought was going to work the best, but it did not. You just got to test to figure out if your marketing angles are going to work, obviously. Chosen a product with better margins. So the margins for this product were ass. Like even if I made a few sales, I probably wasn't going to be profitable. The margins were too tight for meta ads, making it harder to scale profitably, even if conversions improved slightly. So the COGS were 3x. I said that earlier. The COGS were 3x. So it was like $10.80 per unit, and I was selling it for $29.99. Pretty ass margins, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna work better. I thought it was like a decent product at first, but looking back on the test and all the metrics and stuff like that, this product definitely is pretty but prioritize stronger product market fit. I should have looked for a product with more urgency, clear visual transformation, and stronger buying intent before launching ads. So the problem I had with this product, I had no transformation testimonials. So with this product, I definitely did not do a good clear visual transformation because it was kind of hard to find those within the calorie or even like clips online, and there definitely wasn't a lot of buying intent. Like if you guys saw a $30 silicone bowl online, would you be like, oh, I need that shit right now? Like no one's gonna be like that. They're gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna go to Walmart and get a $10 fucking dog bowl. Like that's just how it works. That's the psychology behind the customers and the viewers of this product, because like messy eating, it's not really like an urgent thing. Like most people are just going to clean up their dog's mess after the thing. They're not going to go out and spend a lot of money trying to prevent the problem, because at the end of the day, dog owners really love their dogs, so most of the time they don't really care about like cleaning up after their dog. That's the price they paid when they bought the dog. They knew they were going to have to clean up after it. I hope that kind of cleared things up for the clearer visual transformation and stronger buying intent. Key takeaways: high CTR doesn't equal product market fit. So just because the click-through rate was decent on this campaign doesn't mean that the product was good. And that perfectly fits why I got no ATCs. You guys saw it. The product market fit wasn't that good, but the CTRs were decent. Like I got 95 link clicks. That's pretty good. But as soon as they got to the product page, they clicked off of that shit because they're like, oh, there's like not really any social proof here. There's no clear visual transformation. So the landing page is the product. For this one, obviously the product matters, but your landing page for the product definitely has to have a lot of social proof. And if your product has no social proof, then you're not going to create trust. And creating trust for your product, one of the best possible things you can do to convert. Obviously, there's products out there that need a lot less trust than others. Usually, the products that need the most trust are things like supplements. That's number one for sure. Those are the hardest products to become profitable with. Number two, beauty and health. You are claiming that your beauty product or your health product is going to improve your health or like help with your acne, make your hair grow, or like get rid of the eye bags under your eyes, then you're going to need a lot of trust, because no one's going to buy a product that they don't know actually works. And if you have no social proof or videos showing like the product actually working or transformations, then they're not going to buy it, because they're not going to trust your brand because they've never heard of your brand before, and they're not going to buy something that could impact their health in a negative way off of an Instagram fucking Facebook ad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just like a lot of trust that needs to be put into these products. And if you can nail the trust and you have good UGC content, good testimonials, reviews, transformations, then that's definitely going to help elevate the trust level and hopefully increase your conversions. The mindset shift. People already know they have the problem. You don't need to convince them the problem exists. You only need to convince them your solution works. They feel the pain daily. They're in the problem aware phase. They know their problem is there. They think about it daily. They feel the pain daily. They've tried other things. If you guys are running short form or a VSL, if you address in that VSL or the short form creative the solutions that they've tried that didn't work, then they're going to tune in more, and they're going to think like, oh, this new solution might actually be the solution that fixes my problem. They know something needs to change. So this is in their head daily. Every single day they have the problem. They know what the problem is. They know the solutions. Show your solution after you address the failed solutions that they've already tried. And that way they're going to be more compelled to click and purchase. Prove it gets results. So this is kind of like building trust and like visual transformation. What I usually do on my product page is I do a slider, like before and after slider, just to kind of give some visual proof. Builds trust and confidence. Like I said, like they're going to be more confident to purchase your product because they see that it actually works for other people. If they see that, they're going to purchase, or they're going to be more compelled to purchase in the future. That's just psychology. Like everyone knows that. The bottom line, they're not looking for someone to tell them what the problem is. They're looking for someone who can solve it. So with your creatives, you don't want to just sit there and tell them what their problem is. They know what their problem is. That's the problem aware phase. They know that. You want to move them into the solution / buying phase. Have this new solution that you just addressed to them, and they're more likely to purchase now because they see your solution and they haven't tried your solution yet. Focus here, credibility, proof, results. That's what gets the yes. And then if we move over to this one, customer psychology, understand the mind, influence the decision. Number one, people buy outcomes, not products. They don't care what it is. They care what it will do for them. So they don't care what the product is. It could be a fucking pen that you dot on your acne that gets like rid of the acne or claims to get rid of the acne. Or it could be this whole device, like you guys have probably seen those big ass LED masks, like that has such a wow factor. So those two products, up an acne pen and the mask, they could do the same exact thing, same exact outcome, and they don't care about that. They don't care if it's a little pen. Little pen could be more convenient than the whole mask. Some people aren't confident enough to want to wear that mask. They don't care what it looks like. They care what it will do for them. So if it clears their acne up, they're going to be more focused on the solution and the results of that product than what it is. You know what I mean? Number 2, confused people don't buy. Make your message clear, simple, and easy to understand. So this one, it's a structure with your campaign. Address the problem that they are facing, address the solutions they've tried that did not work, and then introduce your product and your solution. Make them not confused. Make your message clear and simple. It says it right there. Make your message clear and simple. Number 3, the more specific the problem, the higher the conversion. This one kind of just like ties into the last one, what I said. Number 4, people trust proof over promises. Show real results, reviews, numbers, screenshots, and testimonials. I went over this already. If you guys do this well and you show social proof and you have good testimonials, good transformations, reviews, statistics like numbers and stuff like that, then you're going to build trust. You're going to build the trust in your customer, and they're going to be more likely to purchase your product. Number 5, attention first, logic second. Capture attention with emotion, then use logic to justify the decision. This all ties into it. All of these tie into what I just said with the structure of your ad campaign and your creatives. Capture the attention by addressing their problem. And then create emotion by showing all the failed solutions, or addressing all the failed solutions that they've tried that didn't work for their problem. And then use logic to justify the decision. Use logic to show your new product. Introduce your product, introduce your solution, and use logic behind it. And that's going to create more of an emotional connection to the product, and that's going to lead them into buying it. Customers care about themselves, not your brand. Focus on their problems, goals, and desire, not your story. They don't care about your story, bro. No one's going to sit on your website after clicking on it through a Facebook ad and read the whole thing about how you started this brand because you dealt with acne and it cleared up, and you just wanted to help other people because you've been struggling with it for 17 and a half years. No one cares about that shit. Perception is reality. How people perceive the value is more important than the actual value. So this one fits really well into the product that I just ran, because perceived value of my product was ass. So if the perceived value in the customer's brain is not high enough on your product, then they're not going to feel the need to buy it, and they're just going to tune into something else and purchase something else that they see more perceived value in. Number 9, people avoid pain more than they see pleasure. Highlight the pain of staying the same. Number 10, social proof reduces risk. People look to others to feel safe in their decisions. The big idea: people don't buy for logical reasons. They buy for emotional reasons and justify with logic. This is a big one I really want you guys to focus on. A lot of people don't use logic behind their purchases. If someone buys a pair of $400 pants, they're not using logic behind it. They're using emotion behind it. And then they're going to try to justify their purchase with logic. If someone buys a $200 face mask massager to help with like wrinkling and anti-aging, they're going to use emotion for that, because if they have wrinkles, that's an emotional pain point. No one wants wrinkles on their face, so they're buying that. They think it's going to help with the wrinkles, which is an emotional pain point, and then they're going to use logic to justify that emotional purchase. Your job: understand the mind, solve real problems, make the decision for the customer easier. You don't want them to sit there on your website and think about if they need the product. You want to address that they need the product and that it will solve their problem in the ad, so that way once they go to your website, they're ready to just purchase and not wondering if they should purchase it or not. All right, boys, I hope that kind of helped you guys a little bit with your product research and your ad campaigns, and overall just like improving your skills with paid ads, because there's a lot that goes into this game, and there's a lot that you need to learn and master to be successful with paid ads. And that's what I'm still learning myself. I was successful with organic, currently trying to be successful in the long run with paid ads. If you guys want more help and resources and things like this video, join my Discord server, will be in the description. Hope you guys took some lessons, got your notepad out, and took down some notes, because I think it was a pretty good video. I wish I got this information when I first started paid ads, but I'm giving it to you guys because paid ads is hard. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces. If you feel lost in paid ads, then you're probably going to lose a lot of money. And I'd rather guide you guys than you guys blow your last $500 and then you can't afford gas, because these gas prices are ridiculous right now.